Good evening there, and many thanks that you could join Ebru TV on the 28th of June 2022, barely 41 days before Kenyans head to the polls to choose their next leader. My name is Winnie Maganga. My co-anchor at the bottom end of your screens tonight is Joyce Werimo, but first, let's take a look at what's coming up. Government suspends levies charged on unga imports in a bid to cushion Kenyans from unbearable cost of living.
This morning, after lengthy meeting and discussion, we have decided that we will suspend all levies and charges imposed on maize imported into the country.
Push and pull wages on overzoning in Nairobi as party engage in war of words. Experts say the move could zone out Odinga's support in key strongholds.
Kwa hivyo hii kitu tunafanya ya zoning, we are doing it kwa sababu tunataka to insulate the president of Kenya.
Kauli hii nimesema nikiwa katibu wa chama, hatupotezi kiti kwa sababu ya mchezo kama hii. Kama haufurahii hiyo ni shauri yako. Sina namna hiyo.
And 3 MPs give statement over the killings in Nakuru County. Police closing in on links between MPs and drug trafficking syndicate.
Kwa sababu wengine mnasema ni cult. Kuna sababu gani ya mtu kuuawa na pia unachoma hiyo mwili? Uchunguzi unaendelea.
Welcome to the broadcast. The back and forth between parties within Azimio here in the capital has taken a turn for the worse, with each of the leaders aiming to retain seats within their parties ahead of the polls. This has seen the President Uhuru Kenyatta-led Jubilee and the ODM leader Raila Amolo Odinga at the center of the squabbles, with the latest contest for Mathare constituency from the two parties that have been trading accusation, a move that could likely derail the Azimio train ahead of the polls. Here is our senior political reporter Abdiaziz Hashim with the story.
The sibling rivalry within Azimio One Kenya Brigade, led by President Uhuru Kenyatta and the ODM leader Raila Amolo Odinga, has taken a turn for the worse, especially here in the capital, where leaders set to vie for various positions are not having it when it comes to the zoning issue.
Kama autaki the youth in Azimio, you feel like the elderly can work without the youth. Come out clearly. Wacha kupita kona kona, tuambie nyinyi youth, jipangeni.
This has seen the President Uhuru Kenyatta-led Jubilee and the ODM leader Raila Amolo Odinga at the center of these squabbles, with the latest contestants from Mathare constituency from the two parties have been trading accusations.
Kusema kwamba leo hapa mimi ndio candidate. Kwa ule wamesema yule wa Jubilee alipewa certificate na court na ni ukweli. Yule wa Wiper alishaondolewa. Yeye si candidate. Kwa hivyo hapa ni ODM zone, na tukusema 8 ODM, 8 Jubilee, 1 Wiper. Hiyo ndio mazungumzo yetu.
Kwa hivyo hii kitu tunafanya ya zoning, we are doing it kwa sababu tunataka to insulate the president of Kenya. Kuna watu wanafikiri ati tunafanya zoning kwa sababu tunaogopa. Wakaenda wakajifanyia mtandaoni opinion polls zisizoeleweka zinaopatikana na mambo ya mapenzi, na ni kunyamaza, tukitaka kutoboa tutatoboa.
Jubilee candidate Bahati Kioko says he is in the race, while the ODM brigade led by Edwin Sifuna are backing the incumbent Antonio Luoch.
Hapa Mathare tuko na candidate moja wa UDA na tuko na Azimio ile. You tell me, how are we going to make the president who is Raila awe president na awe watu wakati tunagawa kura zikiwa za Azimio?
I gave up on the talks. I went back on ground because whether I step down or I step down, I'm still okay. I will still win the seat because the decision iko na watu wa Mathare.
While taking shots at Rachel Shebesh and Edwin Sifuna, the artist says he will only take directions from his party.
Raundi hii nimesema nikiwa katibu wa chama, hatupotezi kiti kwa sababu ya mchezo kama hii. Kama haufurahii hiyo ni shauri yako. Sina namna hiyo. Kama uko na shida na hiyo ni shauri yako.
Honorable Sifuna na Shebesh wameamka wakasema nime step down. First, I want to make it clear. I only receive information and directives from my party Jubilee.
A move that could likely derail the Azimio train ahead of the polls.
I don't know nani amewapea hiyo mandate, nani anaambia Shebesh na Sifuna. Who is Sifuna? And then Sifuna is saying he wants to give me a job. Who told Sifuna I wanted a job?
Na wengine saa hii unawaambia kujeni tuongee, bedroom ya baba iko na vyumba vingi, tunaweza kukutafutia kitu. Anakutusi, anakuambia wewe unaweza pea nani kazi. Wacha niwahakikishie, hao watu wanaongea hivi, baada ya kuanguka hiyo kura watakuwa narudi kutafuta huyu Sifuna ambaye wanatusi saa.
This has also been witnessed in various parts of the country, where counties like Kajiado, Mandera, and the western part of the country have been rampant. However, it will seem the zoning axe has not fell on the Ukambani region, according to Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr.
Fortunately, zoning has not affected Ukambani, and I can say here, without actually blinking, that the statistics are showing that Wiper is very strong in Ukambani. So there's no reason to zone any person out or otherwise, because Wiper candidates have shown that they are leading in Ukambani. Those are the statistics.
It remains to be seen how the ODM leader Raila Amolo Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta will solve this latest quagmire with barely a month to the polls. Abdelaziz Hashim, Ibru TV.
And moving on, 3 members of Parliament, Kimani Ngunjiri, Simon Arama and Nakuru Town West, and David Gikaria of Nakuru Town East, have submitted information about what they know concerning the conflicting killings in Maganga area, DCI officials. This is after the 3 were mentioned by area residents in the ongoing police investigations.
It's an incident that has been trending and has left Kenyans in shock. The killings of the 6 women in a span of 3 months. The police investigation shows that these killings are being just part of atrocities committed by a group of gangsters known as Confirm.
Kwa sababu wengine mnasema ni cult. Kuna sababu gani ya mtu kuuawa na pia unachoma hiyo mwili? Uchunguzi unaendelea.
As a result, 3 Nakuru MPs have recorded statements with the police in connection with the mysterious Maganga killings perpetrated by the Confirm gang.
Kilia hawa watu ama hawa kora wanaitwa Confirm, lakini si jina Confirm pekee. Kuna wenzao wengine wanaitwa Mauki, kuna wale wanaitwa Nyuki Squad, kuna Gaza na kuna Jerusalem, na hata Boston Prowlers ambaye tumeambiwa ni baadhi ya hawa criminal gangs katika sehemu hii.
The decision to summon Kimani Ngunjiri of Bahati, Samuel Arama of Nakuru Town West, and David Kingaria of Nakuru Town East were helping the police with investigation after they were adversely mentioned by members of public on the mysterious killings.
Mheshimiwa Bahati vile mmesema Ngunjiri, na bado tunahitaji ajilete mbele, andikishe taarifa zaidi. Mheshimiwa Arama of course ameitwa labda kupeana kama kuna kitu yote anajua kama kiongozi na kujieleza. Yule mwingine ni Mheshimiwa Gikaria wa Nakuru East ambaye ametajwa hapa na pale. We have also been told his son is also mentioned.
Regional Commissioner Mali Mohammed says that MP Kimani Ngunjiri has already stated that the gang has been transported from Nairobi to Hara's residence as they prepare for the general election.
Ile tunataka kusema ya kuwa mtu yote ametajwa bila kujali yeye ni nani katika jamii. Tumesema aweze kuweka korokoroni, waandikishe taarifa kwa polisi na uchunguzi uweze kuendelea, kwa sababu wananchi wenyewe wametuambia katika mkutano wa hadhara fulani anahusika na kuna wale wanashirikiana na huyo fulani.
Nishuke kwa nini?
Umejileta mwenyewe.
Kufanya nini? Kwani sisi hatuwezi kutembea hapa?
Tunaambiwa pengine kumekuwa
summon kwa sababu gani? Lazima pia muelewe ya kwamba police station si kama CID hapa, sisi wanga tunatembea. Tunaweza kuja kutengeneza maneno mingi ya serikali. Unajua mimi ni mtu ya serikali ama mji wangu. So nikikuja hapa nakuja tunaongea kidogo, lakini so far hakuna maneno. We are trying to see how we can work together. Hakuna maneno ngine imekuwa.
Police are also investigating the gang's involvement in drug trafficking and that they are in the process of finding sponsors for the gang.
Wahusika wakuu katika sehemu ya Bondeni na Kivumbini ni watu wamejulikana, ndio wanapenda hizo drugs kwa wao vijana kama peddlers wao, na ndio ina facilitate hii kazi yao kuweza kuendelea. Hata kufikia sasa ile ring leader ambaye ana coordinate mambo ya confirm tushapata majina yake, na hata kuna mwenye anapeana finances ya kufanya hizi kazi, wanakodeshwa manyumba na mambo mengi.
Addressing the public when he showed some weapons and other items recovered from the gang, he revealed that 128 people had already been arrested in connection with the killings.
Kufikia sasa tuko na cases 108, 108 total cases ambaye inahusika na hawa wahuni, na wale wameshikwa ni 128. Tuko na suspects 128 na tutahakikisha wote wamekanyaga kotini.
Reporting for Ibru TV, I'm Beryl Shienzi.
And also some good news. Kenyans could soon access unga at fair prices following a move by the government to suspend import levies on maize. Agriculture CS Peter Munya says the move could reduce the prices of unga for the next 90 days. Before the next harvest, Munya said the suspension will be effective from Friday, the 1st of July 2022. It is good news for ugali lovers as the price of maize flour is expected to come down in the next few days.
This morning, after lengthy meeting and discussion, we have decided that we will suspend all levies and charges imposed on maize imported into the country.
Agriculture CS Peter Munya announcing that the government will suspend levies and any taxes imposed on imported maize and flour in a bid to lower the prices of maize flour to manageable levels.
And this will take effect in the next 2 days once we do the settlement that is required. So from 1st of July, no charges will be levied on imported maize that is coming from the East African community and Comesa region and anywhere else that is entering the country.
This means that importers of the product from the Comesa region will not pay any taxes and levies at the point of entry into the country, thereby reducing the cost of unga.
This measure is intended to reduce the costs of maize that is coming into the country and therefore impact on the price of maize and unga that is increasing in our retailing points across the country. And I've said this is in addition to a measure we already authorized millers to import maize from, which is duty-free, because duty on maize from the rest of the world also contribute to the high cost of maize.
As of today, the price of 2 kg packet of maize flour costs between 200 and 250 across various retailers. The move by Munya is expected to create surplus of maize in the market and thereby trigger reduction in prices.
That is a decision that has been arrived after lengthy discussion with all the government agencies that operate from our borders, including Kenya Revenue Authority, KEFIS, KEPS, AFA, even veterinary department, all the agencies. I've just mentioned them, the well-known ones. And we have said no single agency or government service won't be charging anything, any charge on maize, and we are very specific. It's on maize, and also animal feed products, which we are also going to specify in our Gazette notice.
Beside other internal factors, this steep rise in the price of unga in the country was experienced due to an importation tiff between Kenya and Tanzania at the height of COVID pandemic. The Kenya government on one hand claims that Tanzania hiked levies from 27,000 to 52,000, a scenario that caused a huge snarl-up of freight trucks at the Kenya-Tanzania border and therefore triggering the shortage. The shortage eased, however, after the new-found relationship between Kenya and Tanzania that culminated with President Samia Suluhu's visit to Kenya.
Port yellow maize, and I have information that some of that maize will be arriving in the next 30 days, and more will come. That will also help us address the cost of animal feed. But in addition to that, we will also suspend any levy that is, or charge that is levied on raw materials that are used for processing animal feed. Because the crisis we have is not just food for humans. We also have a crisis for food for animals. Given the drought situation we are facing, and it's a lengthy one, that is also has been affecting our animals and has pushed the prices of animal feed to levels that are difficult for consumers to afford.
At the same time, Munya cautioned holders of the product, saying that the new directive could render them out of business.
We are also asking those who are holding maize, because we know there are people and individuals holding maize. When this cheap maize comes, don't complain. Don't complain, because they'll start complaining that their prices have gone down. Because you are holding maize and putting the country at ransom, and we have evidence. We do stand this and stock taking, and we know there is maize.
And now let's shift focus to matters politics, where Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party presidential flag bearer Raila Odinga has pledged to make residents of Narok County gain the most from their livestock farming by introducing high-end meat processing plants in the region. Odinga, who led the Azimio campaigns in Narok County, noted that the region has yet to fully capitalize on livestock farming, despite it being one of its main economic activities.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition presidential candidate Raila Odinga returned to Narok County, drumming up support for the Baba and Mama ticket. Odinga leading his Azimio brigade to make stopovers at Aitong and Suswa, where he unleashed his bag of goodies.
Kwa upande ya ugonjwa tumesema tunaleta mpango mpya unaitwa Baba Care. Semeni Baba Care. Baba Care. Baba Care. Baba Care. Itahakikisha kwamba Wakenya wote wanaweza kupata matibabu kama wako wagonjwa. Watakuwa chini ya bima ya matibabu. Wale ambao hawezi kulipa ile premium serikali itawalipia. Ili ikiwa kama wako wagonjwa wanapata matibabu hata kama hawana pesa. Unaunga mkono? Unaunga mkono? Na jamii wale ambao ni maskini, ambao hawana mapato yoyote, tutawasaidia. Tunaleta mpango unaitwa Social Protection Program. Watapata kila mwezi kutoka kwa serikali shilingi 6,000.
Raila expressed commitment to the conservation of Mau Forest, saying illegal encroachers have been destroying the largest water catchment area.
Mau hapa ilikuwa iko na shida mingi sana, sio? Mau ilikuwa inaenda. Na mimi nilisema niko tayari kwenda kuuza mandazi kule Kibira ili Mau ihifadhiwe. Tulisema tuko na lazima ya kuhifadhi Mau. Mau sasa iko. Mau tutazidi kulinda Mau na kuhifadhi Mau kwa manufaa ya kizazi hichi na ile ambayo inakuja. Sawa sawa? Sawa. Pili ni mambo ya Masai Mara. Masai Mara vile vile tutahifadhi. Wale ambao wanataka kuiba Masai Mara, mwambie hao ng'oo.
Nimesikia juzi William Ruto akiwa hapa Narok anasema ati hiyo mambo ya Mau Forest imeisha. That matter of the matter of Mau Forest is over. How can it be over when people are still living in the forest and they are being protected by the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya ambaye anaitwa William Ruto? Sini mwizi.
While rallying residents to back his presidential bid, Odinga promised to improve the region economically by investing in infrastructure and livestock products.
Wamasai hawa ni watu ambaye ni wafugaji wa ng'ombe. Ile jambo ambaye mimi ningeomba ni kwamba wakati utachukua kiti kama president wa Kenya, hawa Wamasai ushughulikiao kwa market ya ng'ombe yao, kwa sababu ile nyama ambaye inauzwa hapa Masai Mara inanunuliwa hapa kwa shilingi 200, inaenda inakuja kuuzwa Nairobi, ndio wazungu wakule huko kwa shilingi 3,000.
The governor Samuel Tunai-led county is estimated to have 1.5 million head of cattle, 2.6 million sheep, and over 1 million goats. Among other livestock species, poultry and bees are also kept by farmers in the region. The Azimio frontman also promising to complete the construction of roads in the area which link Narok to the neighboring metropolitan areas to better facilitate trade.
Hii barabara ya kutoka hapo Ngorengore kupitia hapa kuelekea hapo ndani ya park, kipige kule Lolgorian, ipite mpaka kule Kehancha, ingie Migori mpaka Mihuru Bay. Tutatengeneza na lami. Itakuwa ni nywe. Nyoka nyeusi. Mnataka namna hiyo? Mnataka namna hiyo? Tukiingia namna hii, kandarasi ataingia. Moja ataanza pande hii, ingine kule upande ya Migori. Ili tengenezwe kwa njia haraka.
The Azimio leaders linked Ruto Rigathi ticket as one linked to corrupt deals and warned Kenyans against electing them.
Because for the last 10 years, we have suffered immensely. We have had looters. In this county, we have had looters coming from outside, looting and taking away all our resources. Sasa hiyo itakwisha, na mimi nataka kumwambia Tunai na mwizi wake mkubwa anaitwa Ruto, wakati wenu imefika mwisho.
Hatuwezi kubali hii mambo ambayo imeendelea miaka hii 10 ambayo Tunai amekuwa kwa hii ofisi. Watu wa Narok wamepata bilioni 76 kutoka Nairobi. Mumeona hiyo pesa? Mumeona hiyo pesa? Hiyo pesa iko kwa tumbo ya Tunai. Hakuna pale nyingine imeenda. Mimi nauliza nyinyi, unajua bilioni 76 ni ile pesa imejenga ile barabara ya gorofa huko Nairobi. Na ni kama umeenda Nairobi, ile barabara kubwa ambayo inaitwa Thika Super Highway mara 3. Mumeona kitu kama hiyo hapa Narok? Na watu tena narudi tena nataka kwa senator. Senator ya nani?
The Azimio leaders calling upon the residents to vote for the coalition and its agenda for a national unity and development.
Na hii uchaguzi ni waeleze. Hii uchaguzi ni kati ya baba na wengine watatu. Rais yuko kwa hiyo uchaguzi ni kati ya baba. Wameshindwa na baba, wanaanza kusema rais wakutane na hii ndume hii baba hapa. Tuko pamoja. Baba ni ndume na atawagonga tarehe 9.
Odinga is aiming to cement his support in Narok County that has 341,730 registered voters and 750 polling stations in 6 constituencies. Davis Mberia, Ebro News.
And still with Azimio politics, Azimio la Umoja presidential candidate Raila Odinga says he still needs some assurance from the IEBC on the level of preparedness of the August 9th general election. Among other things, Odinga is still against the decision by the IEBC to abolish the voter registration, citing that it would be disincentivize voters, especially in far-flung areas with little or no connection. Odinga's sentiments is just concluded a stimulus cast of questions and answers session with a session of media stations come just hours after the IBC meets with presidential candidates to iron out a host of issues on the state of electoral preparedness.
Recruitment of the staff who are going to conduct the elections themselves. Has it been done in a transparent manner, in a manner that does not favor anybody and so on? Secondly, the procurement of the equipment that are going to be used in the election process. Here you have got right now the electronic or the ICT equipment. How was it procured? And how is it prepared? And who was involved? And how has it been tested that is going to work and is not going to fail? Then the printing of ballot papers. Who is printing these ballot papers? How was the contract itself procured? Where is the guarantee that this printer has not printed some extra ballot papers which can be used to do stuffing, as you know, what has happened in the past, okay? Then the issue of polling stations, where are they and how are they connected in terms, you know, the cover of 3G or 4G in the country, which are the stations which are not covered, and what measures have I been taken? And then you have, you know, the electronic system, where, you know, you are identified through your biometrics and the irises, and then you are allowed to go and vote. Eventually, the results are counted, recorded, and then the presiding officer is supposed to, once the agents have signed, press the button and transmit, and it goes through a server in the cloud. In that particular case in 2017, it was going through a server which was in Spain or in France. And then from there it was coming to the server at Bomas. But then there's a logarithm that they put in which was capturing the results before they entered the server at Bomas. So we had situations where our agents in the stations are giving us different results from the results that are being announced. Then you had two parallel lines running like this, 54, 44.
And that story takes us to a fast commercial break. We'll be right back. Don't go too far. Welcome back. Many thanks for staying with us. Kenya Kwanza took the campaigns to Turkana and West Pokot counties, where Speaker of the National Assembly Justin Muturi and Elgeyo Marakwet Senator Kipchumba Murkomen held an economic forum in the devolved units, where they vowed to alleviate the residents of the devolved units all the challenges they are undergoing.
The Kenya Kwanza Brigade today camped in West Pokot and Turkana counties, where the Deputy President William Ruto-led wing sought to court over 500,000 registered voters in the two devolved units.
Nikamuuliza rais, wewe unataka kwenda kustaafu? Hujatuambia huyu William Ruto alifanya makosa gani? Wakenya walikuchagua mara mbili mara tatu, mkuu na William Ruto amefanya makosa gani? Kwa sababu huwezi kuanza kusema mko pamoja, mmepewa jukumu. Hii watu tulipea Rais Uhuru Kenyatta alipewa wakiwa pamoja. pamoja na William Ruto.
Insecurity kwa Kenya haitamalizwa kwa kutumia nguvu ya kiaskari. Insecurity, kitu ya kwanza ni kuwa na Marshall Plan ya maendeleo.
Led by the Speaker of the National Assembly, Justin Muturi, and Elgeyo Marakwet Senator Kipchumba Murkomen, they held an economic forum in the devolved units.
Lakini kuna watu wengine wakati sasa wamekoza network, wameshaisha kabisa, imekuwa kama ile kamisi imesaulika. Sasa kwa sababu hakuna kitu ingine wanaweza fanya kwa siasa, wanakimbilia propaganda. Nia yao ni kusema ati wao unajua
vile tumejua ni kwamba Ruto ni mtendakazi. Niko huko alisema ati labda kule upande kule kwetu huko ndio watu watashangaa ile kura William Ruto atapata kule.
Where they vowed to alleviate the residents of the devolved units all the challenges they are undergoing, like insecurity and drought.
Kama biashara ya bangi inaenda kuhalalishwa, kwa nini biashara ya minerals isikuwe halali katika nchi yetu ya Kenya? Na ninaamini ya kwamba hiyo biashara ya minerals ikiweza kuhalalishwa, West Pokot County tutatoka ile position ambayo tuko nyuma, tutakuwa number 1 kwa uchumi, kujenga uchumi ya nchi ya Kenya.
The country's second in command, who was not leading the brigade, is set to attend a meeting where the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IBC) is set to meet presidential candidates tomorrow to iron out some of the issues raised ahead of the polls. Abdiaziz Hashim, Ibru TV.
Elsewhere, presidential aspirant Mwangi wa Iria has moved to the Supreme Court, seeking to petition the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IBC) decision over his candidature. IBC reportedly blocked Wairia's application over failure to submit enough signatures to support his presidential bid. He needed not less than 48,000 signatures from constituencies of at least 24 counties in the country. In a press briefing on the steps of the Supreme Court on Tuesday, the outgoing county chief made allegation of discrimination by the IBC.
As you might be aware of, I took all my papers to Chebukati, but Chebukati decided to terminate my process unduly without listening to me, while at the same time he gave every other candidate an opportunity. I presented my signatures for the minimum 24 counties as per the law. They received the signatures for the 24 counties. They signed against them, and the only thing I got thereafter was a letter generally saying they have declined my request to contest, as if it is an individual in this country who has the rights to have people contesting. It is granted by the law. From there, on 29th, I registered a dispute with IBC's dispute resolution mechanism. Today or tomorrow, it will be exactly 1 month. Since that time, I've never been heard by anyone. Chebukati refused to hear me, and I think he's somehow fighting back. I don't know why he's fighting. Chebukati's team refused to hear me. His dispute resolution, a dispute resolution committee refused to hear me, because the law says that when you present a dispute, it's supposed to be adjudicated, determined, listened to, and determined within 10 days. They deliberately ignored that so that they can lose jurisdiction. So they deliberately escaped out of jurisdiction because they had 10 days, and they squandered that because they wanted to lose jurisdiction, so they don't listen to me. After that, on 10th, after they lost jurisdiction, I went to the High Court. I was assigned at the Justice Ogundi. That is on 10th. Then it was changed, don't know why, to Justice Murima. Then within those days, ever since I went to court, it has been to and fro. IBC has been coming to court with objections. They have been coming to court claiming that they have not received my papers.
Elsewhere, 3,000 pilgrims will be traveling from Kenya to Mecca in Saudi Arabia for the Hajj pilgrimage this year. Organizers of the travel include the Supclem office in Mombasa, says the low number are because the government of Saudi Arabia put an age limit of 65 years for those intending to go for the pilgrimage due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Those intending to attend are being advised to get the requisite documents in good timing to avoid any inconveniences. I beg your pardon. This year, the pilgrimage will begin from the 5th of July to the 12th of July. Hajj is one of the 5 pillars of the Islam, and faithfuls are advised to attend the Hajj at least once in their lifetime.
Kota yetu ni 4,000 na kuendelea, na huweza kutupeleka hata 5,000, lakini mara hii sisi wenyewe hatukuweza kufikisha idadi ile kwa sababu ya age. Serikali ya Saudi Arabia imeeka age limit kwa sababu ya maradhi. Kwa hivyo, kwa sababu safari yenyewe ni ya shida kwa watu wazima ambao kwamba wana underlying causes, wamefanywa wasiweze kwenda kuhiji, lakini huruhusiwa kwenda kufanya umra kwa sababu umra ni pale pale Maka na ni amali ndogo. It's a lesser pilgrimage. 3,000 mara nyingi huwa mahujaji huachwa kwa sababu watu hawana stakabadhi za kamili, lakini mara hii ndani ya Mombasa karibu pasipoti 70 ishatoka kwa muda mchache sana.
Ningetoa ushauri kwa wale jamii ya Kiislamu wanaotaka kwenda kuhiji, tafadhalini, wakati mnatafuta zile stakabadhi zitafuteni mapema, kwa sababu mnapokuja muda wa kuchelewa mnapatia changamoto sisi na pia mnapatia changamoto serikali. Mnapatia changamoto wale wafanyikazi. Inabidi wao wanakaa masaa ya ziada ambao kwamba ni masaa ambao hawakupangwa katika kazi zao, lakini wao wanafanya kwa ajili yetu na wanafanya kwa sababu wanajua sisi ni wananchi na ni wa Kenya, na ili zoezi ni zoezi muhimu kwetu. Kwa hivyo ile kuwafanya wao wasihisi uzito, twaomba jamii ya Kiislamu tuweze kutafuta stakabadhi ambazo kwamba zinatuwezesha kwenda kuhiji kwa muda ufaao.
And moving on, High Court now wants the Directorate of Criminal Investigations to ascertain which of the 2 wills is the late Dutch businessman Tom Cohen's multi-million shilling estate is genuine. The directive by Judge Mugure Thande of the Family Division was issued Tuesday in light of an application by Cohen's family to have the issue of the wills addressed in order to establish which of the 2 documents stating late Cohen's final wishes is original. The sister of the late Cohen's, Gabriel Hannah, through lawyer Dunstan Omari, believes one of the 2 wills is a product of forgery and wants George Kinoti to lay bare the truth on the document now at the center of Cohen's succession. The family insists it is in possession of the will left behind by the late Cohen, but the late tycoon's widow, Sarah Wairimu Kimodo, has presented in court what she claims is the actual will. During cross-examinations, Cohen's sister, however, insisted that Wairimu was assisted by her defense lawyer, Philip Murgor, to forge the said will. She told the court this prompted her to report the matter to the police station.
In this will, he's saying if Sarah dies, everything goes to the daughter, Renee.
Yes.
Let's keep going. You see, you don't feature at all. You don't exist until there.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't exist.
Yeah, I don't.
But go on, read one more. You exist. Read one more. H-I.
It is my desire that in the event that Sarah Wairimu Komoto and Renee Katoni Chettle die at the same time, then all the assets listed above are bequeathed to Gabriel van Straten Cohen, absolutely.
So you finally get something if everybody dies before you.
Yes. I that my remains be buried at Jewish cemetery nearest to the place where death will take place.
So I just said that is universal because it was always there. I move to the second will.
Bernard Cohen and me
Will be the executors.
will be the executor. Yeah.
Okay. So let us go to
Upon trust, I hereby give and bequeath to Sarah Warim Komoto absolutely all my shares in Tops Limited registration number.
So the shares in Tops Limited are given to Sarah Wairimu Kamoto.
This took him?
Yes.
I thought it was Mr. Kirundi who was going to...
The will, council has been asking, the will is not there. So we want the will to be present every other time so that that narrative that the will is not there is, that's all that we are curing, that the DCI to be present with the will in court any time.
How practical is it to get it by 2 o'clock council?
I have asked, let they not be compared. It is only a matter, the DCI headquarters is 10 minutes away from me. All that they want is a document, call a court summon for them to be present.
Elsewhere, government has set aside 70 million Kenya shillings to build safe houses for Kenyan workers stranded in Saudi Arabia in a campaign to ensure safety of hundreds of Kenyan workers in foreign countries. Speaking in Mombasa at the National Employment Authority Forum, CS Labour Simon Chelgoe said 2 safe houses will be built, one in Jeddah and the other one in Riyadh, which will serve as a pilot project before the government fully launch the programs to other foreign countries which host big population of Kenyan workers to end cases of torture. Chelgoe said the program aimed at addressing challenges facing Kenyan workers in foreign countries as they will have a place to stay and get attention from the Kenyan embassy.
Tumekuwa tukiomba na kupanga kupata pesa ama fedha ya to finance safe homes and inalingana na vile wengine wanafanya. Kuna nchi zingine kule ugaibuni, haswa upande wa Uarabuni kama wa Filipino na wa Pakistani ambao wamefanya wamejengea watu wao nyumba za kuishi wakati wanapokosa kazi ama wakithulumiwa. Tunakuwa na nyumba ambao watabaki, ambao sisi wenyewe kama Kenya tutasimamia kupitia ubalozi wetu wa nchi hiyo. Kwa hivyo Wakenya hatutataka tena kuona Mkenya ambaye anarandaranda ama amepoteza kazi ama hana makazi, atakuwa anabaki hapo akitafutiwa vyeti vyake ya kusafiri kurudi nyumbani. Ni aibu sana kuona Wakenya wakilia na wakikaa barabarani wakikosa makao. Sisi ni serikali ambao tuna heshimu na tunalinda wa Kenya. Kwa hivyo hii mpango ni kulete heshima kwa Wakenya na pia kuhakikisha kwamba Wakenya wakienda ng'ambo wanarudi salama salimini.
And moving on, Mombasa Beach hotel workers have protested on poor working conditions in the county. The police have cautioned hotel workers against taking law into their hands after they protested on frustration from the hotel management, threatening to paralyze service at the facility after failing to agree on workers' welfare and demands with the management.
About 2 months ago, we made sure, as unions of the healthcare workers, we ensured that a budgetary provision was given at the county assembly. And we want to thank the county assembly for approving that budget as it was presented by the department. Because 10 million shillings that was meant for these promotions was actually approved, and this was given to the county government. It is most astonishing to us, the union representatives and the healthcare workers, that in this background, we still do not have promotions of healthcare workers that ought to have happened 3 years, 5 years, and even some healthcare workers 10 years ago, more than 5 years ago. Promotion is necessary for healthcare workers. It ensures these workers work diligently, work while motivated, and give their best level of care to the patients that present to us in the hospitals. The Constitution of Kenya reminds us that we must always give the highest attainable level of health care. It is not possible, humanly possible, to do that if the workers that you have working for your hospitals and health facilities are demotivated, especially in the background of a 2-week commitment. Now, so we want to say today, we are picketing. We gave adequate notice to the county government. Indeed, following a series of meetings with the top executives, we have had what I will call empty promises given to us. And also, we have problems with drugs shortages in the hospital. So, in as much as we are talking about the promotion today, we also know the common wananchi are suffering out there. We have patients who've come to the hospitals and they could not receive gloves so that they are serviced for. So for us, from where we stand, we shall be having these daily picketings, if not every other day picketings, until such a moment that the county government and the County Public Service Board promotes its healthcare workers. We want to say it is the arms of government that are on strike.
But what we're expecting is there must be an allocation for promotions each and every year. Where do the funds go to? We've been very patient. This time round, the County Assembly has allocated 10 million. Where do they want to take that money? The financial year is almost over. I think by Thursday, they're giving us a date of 18th of July. Are we talking about now waiting for another county assembly to come into place for budgeting again? No, that's not possible, and that's quite unfair. So if our officers and our members have waited for 10 years, I think it's fair enough for them to promote us.
Now let's get sporty. High performance training camp by the national women's volleyball team. Malkia Strikers served off in earnest today, few hours after the 9th time African champions landed in Brazil. 3 after top Brazilian coaches attached to the team by the International Volleyball Federation as part of the Volleyball Empowerment Program took charge as Kenyans ready for their Samba touch ahead of the World Championship. Head coach Paul Bitok, who will handle the team alongside the Brazilian, gave the São Paulo's facilities a thumbs up, saying the 2-month camp is the best ever that Malkia Strikers have received to date.
2 months, and I expect to learn a lot. I expect we are going to be here in Brazil for training camp for 2 months, and I expect to learn a lot. I expect to improve personally and also as a team. We know we are going to improve because we'll have accessible to the facilities which are going to help us in improving in all aspects in our game, and so we look forward to improving as a team and I as a person.
I'm happy because these are the first time to come in national team. So ningependa tu kusema nashukuru Mungu kwa sababu si rahisi kufika hapa. Siku expect kufika national team, but Mungu mwenye amenifanyia na sema thanks. Then wenye wako nje tumekuja huku kusoma experience, hata sijajua experience mingi, but nimefurahi kuja huku nitapata experience mingi sana. So I thank God for that.
Okay, thank you everyone. We thank you for the support that you gave us. Malkia Strikers traveled well. We arrived yesterday evening and we are here in Osasco Club and we started our training very well, and we hope to have the training for the next 2 months. So I want to report that Malkia Strikers are in good shape. They are ready for the training here in Brazil. As you can see behind me, the team is already in training. We started in the morning. This is our second training. We will be having 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon. And we hope to have the first friendly matches in the next 2 weeks. And other international friendly matches is organized by the Osasco team. So we just hope that everything will go as planned. We will be here for 2 months. We want to have international friendly matches at the end of these 2 months, maybe in Brazil, with the international teams like Caetano, Osasco Club, and other top clubs in Brazil.
And that sports news marks the end of our bulletin tonight. Many thanks for keeping me company. A special thanks to my co-anchor Joyce Warimo and to everyone who made this particular bulletin a success. Many thanks. Have a beautiful and a blessed night. My name is Winnie Maganga.